Facts. If you believe in Jesus, these days Christians get attacked. Facts. If you don't hate police, then everybody thinks you're whack. And everything's so connected. Black Lives Matter got so aggressive. White folks who agree can't support the message. Both sides go to war because they don't respect it. Our social climate from the global tension turned to total violence and a whole depression. We could unify and then I'll go against them, but we let them divide us with votes and elections. Hey, the music we bump, all about shooting guns and doing drugs. Hey, whoa, the things that we want are promoted subliminally through the songs like, you need a fast car, you need designer clothes, you need a rap star to tell you to start popping pills, hit the blunt and go live at the club till you're broke. It's all controlled by the elites, put fake news all over our screens, convincing the right to go fight with the left and distract from the fact it's each other we need. Divided by race and religion, segregated into teams. You a white supremacist. If you're not, I guess you Antifa. Screaming from the rooftops, beat down better, turn us on each other now, no lives matter. If we do what the news wants, blood gon' splatter, turn us on each other till no lives matter. Freedom's dead. If you have an opinion, take it back. Facts. People hate the president. If you don't, then you trash. Facts. Indoctrinate the nation using news and mainstream rap. Facts. The government abuses us. It's all part of the plan. Facts. And it's so confusing. Black Lives Matter's a valuable movement, but all lives matter ain't racist or stupid. It's non-black humans who don't feel included. All colors fall under laws to govern the whole country, and we all suffer. We're all broke and nobody recovers until we accept that we're all brothers. Hey, the music we make, all about big booties and getting paid. Hey, whoa. We watch the news and it fills up our brains with violence and riots and race. Like this is a race war. You need to hate more. Get what you came for. You need some songs about Xanax and violence so you can escape more. What a vicious cycle we can't break away from. They control the culture, they control the paper. They're indoctrinating a whole generation till the patriots start to hate the nation. The music we love make us dumb and addicted. The news that we watch is brainwashing the children. The viruses, riots, and racist conditions ain't problems, they're symptoms of life in the system. Screaming from the rooftops, beat down better, turn us on each other now, no lives matter. If we do what the news wants, blood gon' splatter, turn us on each other till no lives matter. The music will make you dumb, the media makes you hate, and they control them both. There ain't no escape. They put the world in a state of chaos, economy crashing and massive layoffs. Black against white or it's left versus right, divide and conquer and control is the payoff. Screaming from the rooftops, beat down better, turn us on each other now, no lives matter. If we do what the news wants, blood gon' splatter, turn us on each other till no lives matter.
Starts with you and I to keep the love alive. You gotta change ways your sense of dignity. No hate, we gotta act differently.
All right, we are live.
All right. Sorry about the delay. Took an extra couple minutes, half an hour.
We're still figuring out some technical difficulties, so you're going to have to bear with us as we go through our growing pains kind of coming into this. Welcome to today. Speyer had a really, if you're not familiar with, you might know me on X as Wabbit. My name is Aaron. This is Speyer.
Yeah. Speyer 868.
Yeah. So welcome to Planting Seeds Podcast. Really what we're all about is just kind of having a good time, planting some seeds and maybe talking about some as well. Now today's episode is actually today's episode. Do you want to kind of talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So, explanation, and then we've got a little bit of a live challenge. I know some people were interested in seeing that. If it was done yesterday, but we're going to post it live for you guys to see for the first time. But we titled this episode "Hunger Games." We want to. This is our first live. To really reach out to people and talk about something that's really important. By the Hunger Games, yeah, just like the movie, that's where I got the idea from. It popped in my head. My daughter's watching the movies and reading the books right now, and I just got thinking, literally, we're kind of living in sort of society right now where people are being planted against each other. They're taking people from all different life and trying to divide us. And it disgusts me. And unfortunate. And I think there's only certain people that can fix that, and that's all of us. So we all have to work harder. It's not left to one person. It's not, this particular influencer or that particular celebrity or that politician or that freedom fighter or that. It's all of us. We all have to try to make a difference. And then as Wabbit and I were discussing it the other day, Aaron actually brought forward a good point. This new Bill C-63 and, how that could be a huge for us being able to work together, but also specifically, repercussions from it, and the fear that will place into people, which could prevent us from speaking. Yeah. And that's what we're going to go on today about.
So I think just mind, I was kind of chewing a little bit. So yesterday's the challenge that we're gonna try and do a challenge every episode. Some are going to be, some are going to be a little bit shorter. It'll be a little bit more refined going on. It's us in front of the camera doing the challenge, and it was Speyer's challenge. So I'm going to throw that up on the screen for you guys. It's about five or 6 minutes, and then back after. So bear with me.
Yeah, Cracker's about to eat crack
as well. All right, we're recording.
Oh, we're on. Okay, so hey everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Planting Seeds. We're actually a day before our live feed, and we just got together. I'm trying to get everything sorted for today for our first Planting Seeds challenge.
That's it. So we meant to actually try and go live tonight. We're still trying to figure out some of the rigmarole of all the software. Our camera wasn't working in sync and all that kind of stuff. But so it's not going to be a huge challenge or anything like that. We're not doing any woodworking skills or outdoor craft skills. Nope. Instead, we just figured we'd do something where we're both basically on equal footing. I am on the carnivore diet. However, for the sake of you guys and Speyer here, I'm going to take a break from it tonight. And do you want to explain this challenge? Because I'm not.
Yeah, absolutely. So welcome to Planting Seeds episode 2. That'll be starting. It'll be our live feed. And we're going to actually, I think we decided that we're going to be doing like a bit of a Hunger Games theme. And you'll see that when we actually get into the live feed. This will be pre-recorded, so we'll be watching this tomorrow. But back in the college days, we actually had this interesting little thing that we always tried to break. It was this 6-cracker in 1 minute challenge, and I've done it with a lot of different people, a lot of friends of mine in college, a lot of active service guys back in the time, veterans now, most of them. Anyways, the whole point is you have to eat 6 crackers in under 1 minute. At least you got to try. So I've never seen anyone be able to do that. So what Aaron and I are going to try is just see who can get the fastest time for you today. The rules are: you have to eat all 6 crackers. You're not allowed to have any drink before. You're not allowed to have a drink during. You certainly are going to want one afterwards. And you can eat all of them at once. You can eat one at a time. You can crush them. You can do whatever you want. But you got to consume them all, and they have to be swallowed. Oh, that just got really awkward, didn't it? That just got awkward. Okay.
Well, we are crackers.
Yeah.
So.
Cracker eating cracker contest. Okay. Crackers. So, anyways, on that note, Aaron, this is his first try at this. So we're gonna let Aaron go first. We've even got background music. No, you're going first.
I thought we were doing this together.
No.
All right.
No. So we're gonna put a timer up there somewhere. There, maybe. Yeah, there.
Right up around
okay, we're gonna throw a timer up there, and let's see. You ready, Aaron? Get your crackers ready.
All right.
I got the music. Ready?
We'll do a countdown from 3 minutes, but I expect it's going to be hopefully a minute.
Right. Let's see if he can do it. This would be pretty epic. Ready?
Right, go.
Go. Good start, dude. Delicious.
I'm not going to be able to do it.
Doesn't. Pacing himself a little bit here, guys.
You can't swallow.
Awkward.
Well,
it's one thing.
I'm not built for it.
Yeah. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going for the clump here. He's going for the group. Downrange. Oh, he's committed. He's committed. He's in at 40 seconds right now. Get a little pasty. Yep. Oh, he's pasty. Keep her going. We're doing this for you. He said something, I'm not sure. Focused.
I can't swallow.
Okay. We're in. Still counting. We're almost at about the halfway mark here. Way over the minute. It's an impossible challenge. Oh. He's giving her. He's the governor giving her. Oh, we're getting close. How's it going? Oh, he could do it. Right, he said around 2 minutes. Are you done?
Yeah.
Let's see, open mouth. All right, so what's that like?
It was like a minute and 9, or I had a minute and 9 seconds left.
Okay, cool.
I think it was a minute and 9. It might have been a minute and 8. Oh, wow. It's the first breaded product I've had in like 2 weeks.
Tasted delicious.
That was terrible.
It was terrible. Aaron's down 12 pounds so far. I started earlier this week. Haven't weighed myself yet because I just started. So, all right, am I up?
Yeah, you're up.
Okay,
All
cracker
right.
challenge, Marty.
Ready.
Cue the music.
Set.
Go.
Go. Marty's better at swallowing than I am. Apparently. Can you do it?
It's $20.
It's $20. Where did the $20 come from? All right, we're halfway through the crackers. We're halfway through the first minute. You might be able to do this. Oh, I have faith. Okay, do it. Shove her. Get her in there. All right, we are 4 crackers down. We are
just need to beat
40
Aaron.
seconds down. He's going to beat me, for sure. We are... Oh, dude, you might actually do this. Go, go, go! Okay. Is it possible? 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, he tried. He almost had it. He's definitely beating me. And we are at 10 seconds over. You're at 1 minute and 50 seconds.
For real?
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
So, all right. So that was first challenge. Speyer wins.
It's an eating challenge.
Now with that,
Shame. Shame.
with that, the subject of our podcast tomorrow is going to be the Hunger Games. And kind of, if you've seen the movies or if you're familiar with the books or anything like that, it's everything going on around that, from joining teams to fighting each other. Just we've seen a lot of that in the past little bit, and we wanted to address some of that and see how we can possibly look at steps forward. Over and above that, some new legislation came out earlier this week that we're going to have a look at, and that is the Bill C-63. So we're going to have a look into that too. Anyways, thanks for joining us for the challenge, guys.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so
Hopefully everyone should be able to hear us now. So, yeah, 1-0.
terrible.
Terrible, awesome. I mean, you were terrible at it, but anyways. So hopefully everyone enjoyed our first planting seeds challenge. It's more difficult and a lot sillier from here. There might be a couple serious ones, but I know about those.
There you go. So I think what we're gonna kind of I guess a little bit more on the serious note, and I know you really wanted to address that, the Hunger Games kind of look at things. But I think the way that when you first talked about Hunger Games, I think the way that I was kind of thinking about it as well is if you've watched the movies or read the books or that kind of really what it was, like you saw a lot of people that were kind of getting together. They're doing all these things together. They're trying to work together, and ultimately, in the end, it's all about destroying one another. Was that am I pretty apt in my?
That definitely has a lot to do with it. I mean, that's what we saw. We all came together. Everyone bonded. I say everyone, like, I mean, within our freedom movement and stuff like that, we all got behind making our own decisions about the vaccines, right?
Yeah.
We all got, when I say we all, of course, it's the freedom movement, which I'm talking about. That's not everyone, and that's going to come up. But we also got behind, the trucker convoy, the freedom convoy and stuff like that. Was bonded at one point. There was one specific enemy as we saw it. Everyone, the governments or the deep state or whatever, however you want to term it, and everyone was working together, and there was a lot of sharing. There was a lot of positivity out there, and that's kind of died down. The mandates started backing off, and then from there, what we've been left with is in-house fighting, and that's not how we make sure that happen again. We need to do better right now.
Well, I mean, what was really interesting with the convoy was we saw all walks of life like thrown at us. You saw it on TV, and then you'd see they'd be trying to throw it as a white supremacy thing and trash, and that's all that's going. But then you'd have these Sikh guys that are out there, not just the truckers and the people at the convoy, but they're feeding the homeless as well and cleaning the streets. Blacks, whites, Asians, you got people of all walks of life, from very wealthy to basically that were kind of standing united. And then as the convoy broke up and there was a lot of obviously like disappointment kind of thing behind it, a lot of people spoke it. A lot of people were trying to see that was coming out of it, and ultimately we saw that a little bit later on. But what kind of happened as well is like everybody went their separate ways. We still had groups, and we still talked about the newest distraction that was coming out from here, there. But as they started to ping down these distractions, people got further divided. Now we've seen quite a bit of in-house fighting, and I think we started seeing some towards in the autumn, like some really heavy stuff, especially with the newest overseas. And I'm not really going to comment too much on that, but
sorry, just yeah. I don't think we need to comment on the specific conflicts, but I think how people are reacting. Yeah. I think it's important that we do that. This is planting seeds. Yeah. So let's plant a couple seeds. Let's anyway, sorry to interrupt there, but
no, you're fine. I think I was losing my voice.
Okay, that happens. We're getting old. Okay. Love a drug.
That's fun. But it was just more. One new conflict or another one comes up. We're finding further ways to divide ourselves, and something that's always, when you look at, I guess, the other group, as we like to put it, if we're looking at Team 1, Team B, I'd rather look at it as us against them in terms of trying to figure out how to get around our rulers as opposed to each other. But there's a lot of, I think, internal conflicts that have kind of come to people where they've, drawn a hard line, and unfortunately, some of those lines don't need to be. We've seen some within some of our own groups, just even recently, with people attacking based on a lot of it. Some of it was based on just either imagined slights or very real slights. But at the end of the day, like, if we can't sit down and either discuss this or choose to work through them, all we're going to do is keep splitting ourselves up.
Yeah, absolutely. And sorry, I'm just figuring this live stream bit out. I'm trying to answer chats. We're having some problems with the feed, so we might be uploading this afterwards. Yeah, I'm trying to stay on top of some of the people following today, so that's going on too. But yeah, I agree, Aaron. I think that some of the stuff, the in-house fighting, the little differences, okay, your opinion on one thing, and this is going to be an excellent breach into this C6, because just because you don't like what someone else says doesn't doesn't even make it wrong, right? It's someone else's opinion versus yours, and I think that needs to be a bit more. Yeah. My main issue originally was versus PPC. Basically, and amongst our freedom, our patriots or the Freedom Convoy group, I think that was always a big thing. Everything from the notion of, well, hey, if a vote for PPC divides, well, okay, sure, that might be accurate, but does not a vote for C divide the vote or split the vote from someone for people that are supporters. So one party has been around longer, one is bigger. Make it the right party, maybe not for everybody. And I think that it's important for us as we're discussions to consider that we're not all going to believe the same things. However, the end goal is the same.
Yeah, and there's a couple of good comments down in the chat as well. Sorry guys, if my mic's I'm still trying to figure out my mic exactly, how to get them working. We just got Speyer's mic in the other day. It's rattling a bit or anything like that. I'll try and turn them down. It's I don't want to bring the can't we all just get along kind of things or anything like that, but I really think like looking further ahead at some of the stuff right now that we're seeing from various governments. We're talking Canadian here, but we're seeing this all over the place. It's coming down hard. Not the COVID hammer, as we all talked about, and people can dive in, going way back and keep holding a grudge, which I'm happy. Speyer and I were talking earlier about some things that I have a hard time at too, and that's something we can approach on another episode unless you want to discuss it today. But
maybe. Are you ready for that?
Not yet.
So we're going to hold that, but yeah. So no, you know what? But what I will do is I'll take that on a in. We're very, very close friends. We've been best friends for a long time. Okay, our families have grown up together. Our kids are we are as brothers, and we don't see eye to eye on. We have to plant seeds with each other as well too, and we have to push each other better. And I've been on a wellness journey for a year, and I'm pretty open to a lot of stuff, and one of the biggest ones that daily for me is forgiveness. I used to be a battle hardened, and
I can attest to that. Well, even before.
No, you're not. So, but I literally became very, very to a lot of things, and now I'm letting those feels in. And the reason why I'm doing it is because of all of you. I've been getting that way on this journey of mine. But in that, I see things and I try the concept of radical acceptance, radical forgiveness, and those sort of things. A lot of books, and I get into stuff. And right now, I'm under the notion we need to move on. We need to get by some of these petty differences and move on. And some of that's really difficult. And specifics of that we're going to get into on another episode, because I think that could fill a full hour with just even Aaron and I talking about our discussion. And that's another thing. Our first live feed, I really wanted to make sure that everyone understands that we speak off the cuff. Okay, this is live. We've decided to do that because we want you to really are in our opinions. So even if we don't agree, there might be some agreements on the podcast here, and I'm okay with that because that's real life.
Yeah. No. So go like it actually.
Sorry, a comment just came up here. A comment just came up a little while ago. It said, "Yeah, Vladimir Putin ended COVID." That out there. Thank you, Russia. Right? Thank you, Ukraine. Right? COVID. Yeah.
Anyways, well, Ashlaf just put a good comment up there as well. As like if we can't personal divisions, which this can be anything from religion or lack thereof, or color, or or a whole pile of just these smaller stuff. We're never going to be able to tackle issues that are coming in at us, and those include, new legislation and a lot of the other things that we're seeing that are being handed down from government. Direction of our own, but just these things that kind of keep them in strength and keep us fighting one another. And I really like I we've talked multiple times about people that I've had coming at home. And I think some of like our viewers right now actually have been in my house.
Absolutely.
But I've seen about 3 times had people here, and each time the group, it's not that it's grown, it's changed of little personal divisions, and I'd rather just see that group getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Learn to work together, because we saw the convoy, what a difference that made, not just in Canada but right across the world. And now we're sitting here we're trying to pick up the sticks of just these little infighting things to try and kind of keep things moving. Talking you and me, I think a lot of people are trying to do that.
Yeah, and let's a little bit more our actions now, how we're dealing with things, just the same as when we were doing the Freedom and when we were in Ottawa and doing different things on bridges and overpasses and school board. We're doing a lot of that stuff to show our children that we were standing up for them, to create opportunity for our children to see things differently. And in that, they did. A lot of them learned. My children are independent thinkers now. They're based, not woke. And we need to carry on with that. We need to make sure that they see now that we're moving forward and we're together. Everyone that has followed me for any period of time, yes, my original Twitter smash, but I had quite a following. We've rebuilt that thanks to a lot of you. But all the time, hashtag together we're stronger.
Yep.
And there's few things other than God that I in than that saying together we are stronger. That's my entire basis. And stop the divide.
So let's with the Hunger Games thing in mind, let's kind of stop and start going after the whole pie. I don't know if that works, but I'm just trying to.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, it works.
All right. So moving along, the other thing that I'd like to kind of discuss is, if we're bigger issues, then there's a bigger issue that kind of came. Major bigger.
He's not a veteran. Major bigger is not a veteran.
Bigger is not.
Someone's going to log in here and say, "Me, look at me. I had a captain hook. And a major." And I'm sure, yeah.
And a Harry private?
Yeah.
Or private Harry.
I got awkward again.
Sorry.
You got the biggest mooch.
I have the biggest mooch.
I got the biggest mooch.
All right. So anyways, moving along onto some serious stuff as well.
Thanks for the warning out there. We're riding that line. Get ready. You know what I mean? We're going to be streaming only on Rumble soon.
So Bill C-63 came out, and hasn't come out, but it's being presented for first reading. For any of you that understand what that is, basically a bill to pass legislation has to go through the House, through the Senate, kind of a few different times. There will typically be back and forth. It on a couple of times that there's been some stuff that's just been rammed through. People get upset about it and they kind of leave it. But this one is highly concerning on a variety of different things. It's being presented as a bill that is meant to protect children from online harm. Called the online harms bill. And
what I call it, but
talking about with that is that ultimately it's put in place to stop bullying, because so many kids die from bullying each year. Specific statistics on me for that from online.
Do better.
However, what's happening here is, like a lot of the legislation that we've seen coming out, specifically in recent times, it's hiding a lot of other things too. And really, we're all about protecting kids, but at the same time, a whole pile of other legislation in there that can be highly damaging to free speech, and ultimately just even to our ability to move around. This is putting more fear of government into people as opposed to their way around. Now you had you had a bit of a
I've got a summary. I've got to do on C63, just something that put together, and we'll get into some more specifics in some videos. I did just see a comment here from our YouTube stream saying that mics are cutting out. So if whoever Bell looks like Bell North, if you could actually maybe just let us know if it's both mics, if it's one, and then we're going to work on. Yeah, the feeds are going to improve as we go. New microphones and So, but we wanted to make sure we started today. Okay, so C63. Just a basic summary. I'm not an expert in it. You won't hear me say I'm an expert in much. First thing, I'm knowledgeable in several things, but I'm not an expert in much, minus arms and flowers. Those are the things I'm good at. But C63. So the Act defines 7 harmful content that attract regulatory obligations. Intimate contact, communication, consent with such photos or videos, recordings, including deep fakes, are in there. Person who is nude or engaged in sexual activity. So this is the basically is that it's all to protect us from sexual crimes and sexual activity. That sexual victimizes a child or re-victimizes her. I can get behind that part. Content that induces child's who harms themselves, such as content that advocates self-harm, disorder, eating, or suicide, used to bully a child, including content that could be serious harm to a child's mental health through intimidation, threats, or humiliation. Content that foments hate. Okay, so this is a big component of that, which we're going to get into, and we're going to show you soon. That'll blow your minds, I think. Content that incites violence. Gee, that'd be twisted. Okay, and content that incites extremism or terrorism, and so that's your criteria for different obligations that allows the government to move with this new act.
Yeah. I haven't been able to pull up the video. We're as I mentioned earlier, we're still trying to figure out. Actually, I think I know the mic problem. We might need some of those, those things that go in front of the mic to try and help them. Now I haven't figured out, or sorry, I thought. I haven't, technical issues. I how to integrate all video, or I wasn't able to find the one video, but we're working on it. There, this will be awesome. But with the one was a bit of a big one. So the minister that's putting this forward is Arif. I'm trying to remember how to say his name, Arif Virani, and ultimately he came onto stage the other day to explain it, and part of this was also. So if you are suspected of being a danger that you might commit a crime, and I'm paraphrasing, but really what it came down to, you could be placed under house arrest, fined up to $70,000, and possibly be looking at serving a lifetime in prison, lifetime being 24. Now, we have dangerous offenders that are being released couple $100 fines, just being held for a couple of days, and even with murder, rape, and I don't want to go into all the different things that are there, but some of the most violent criminals are being released, well before their lifetime sentence. Meanwhile, if you're suspected of saying something, this is where it starts to get scary. Now. Nobody wants inside my head. Nobody wants to know what I'm thinking. I do. Okay. No, that comes along with this is who defines hate speech. Now, I understand that a lot of the pushback's been, well, there's already a defined definition, but how many times in the last 4 years definitions change? Just in the last 4 years, definitions change all the time. Who decides what is hate? And I wanted to go into that actually a little bit further. There's a country that's already passed almost exactly the same law proposed here in Canada, and that's Britain. And just within the last 2 weeks, I'm putting on and taking off. Just within the last 2 weeks, I've right here.
He can't see now.
I can't. So there was Sam in the UK. He's of a group that's highly concerned about now. People can look at immigration and say, well, we are a melting pot, and we are, but I think it's been by just about everyone now that the mass migration that's happening in all the Western countries is becoming very problematical in a number of ways. Not just about affecting economy, but a lot of other things too. Told in recent years that through DEI and through CRT, being white is wrong, and we're not here to promote over black or any other color. Earlier, we're about people getting together and just trying to get past the whole racism thing that's constantly being shoved down our throats. However, whether he went or not, free speech is free speech, and by passing this law, this guy he's found guilty of inciting hatred for sharing stickers.
Damn gamettes.
Now, they weren't Nazi stickers. Some people might look at this as being like a white supremacist thing, but ultimately, put another color on there if you wanted to.
Yeah, is it okay at that point?
Is it okay then? So why? So here's some of the stickers that he shared. Reject white guilt. It's okay to be white. Now, I'm not endorsing or I'm all about free speech.
Is this wrong? Do you believe that this is wrong? Right? Simple.
Should we feel guilty because of the color of your skin? If you were brown, if you were black, if you were any other race, color, creed. Now we will be. This is actually a statistical fact. We will be a minority in our homeland by 2066, and that's looking statistically on the UK and the migration that's coming in right now. Lives matter. Now, I'm not. Again, I think all lives matter. Blue lives, black lives, doesn't really matter. But stop anti-white race. There are rape gangs in many of these, like European countries.
England talks about it a lot. Tommy Robinson, if you follow him, he talks about that all the time.
So is that a hate sticker, or is that something that pointing at a fact? And this is something that we should be working on, not endorsing. And that was my favorite one there.
Horrible.
These are all hate stickers. He was given 2 years in prison because of making stickers and putting these out there. That's what it's coming down to. So, and this is ultimately read 63. If you haven't had a chance to yet, I have read the bill a few times, just trying to go back and forth to understand all the underlying messaging that's in there. But these are scary times. These are, what do we do? Again, with the divide, we need to start healing some of this amongst ourselves, because it's not the right versus the left, although in some ways it's us versus them. We need to demand that these legislations are not passed. You need to speak to, and trying to get through to your MP sometimes, they don't answer the phone calls. They rarely answer emails. You show up at their office, they're not there half the time, which is actually probably should be in Parliament, but on the days that Parliament's not in, then and they're not there. If you can't get a hold of your MP, get a hold of your MPP. At least they have start speaking. But one of the biggest things that you can do is talk to each other. You'd be surprised at the amount of people that have zero idea of what's going on in Canadian politics and legislation, and these things are being passed right under their noses. Parents every day about a lot of the stuff that's going on in schools, and they have zero. In my children's own school, they have no idea what's going on. People are just, they're blind to a lot of what's kind of being, thrown under the rug here and passed off. And then 5 years down the road, we're sitting there trying to do damage control because we actually to pass.
Well, and another thing I noticed this morning, and it's not so much adding to Aaron, it's maybe direction, but it'll all come together. And we're planting seeds, right? So plant them all over the place. How they grow. But this morning I just logged into Facebook, which I less and less these days, but it's a great spot to share pictures with your family members. And there was a specific posting that was out by a particular police force. I'm in Ontario. We'll leave it at that. And basically they were talking about how going to schools, they had 2 white police officers that were out, and they were donating these books to about diversity and sexuality and all these different things. That was part of a specific, it's obviously part of a, but here's the thing that's weird. They can openly post saying that they're doing this stuff, but against it. Is that problematic? And with this new bill, certainly with AXI C63, that could be problematic, right? So almost baiting us in, and I'm finding it very, very difficult not to say my right? I'm not afraid to do that, but certainly with this new legislation, much more difficult, and people might be more hesitant, right? Especially people that are just up to the problems of the world.
Yep, and we're not going to solve this in 50-minute podcast either. But the conversation around it is we're trying to plant those seeds. I don't know how many times we're going to say that this week.
It's our brand. Buy our t-shirts. We have a merch place coming soon. No, I'm just kidding.
No, really don't.
Okay,
so,
not yet.
That's going to get chopped up and just be like,
that was part of the joke. Oh, just pick the sign in front of it.
But ultimately, with the whole planting seeds, and that the reason that we wanted to put that name down is because hopefully we are going to be planting some seeds of about things, getting those conversations going. Because conversation, although it seems like a conversation, is how we fix these things. Because here, and you'd be surprised at the amount of neighbors or people around you that will hold the same concerns as you if they hear about it. From there we up, and there we can start to force pressure on not just our MPs. They do listen to the polls. They look at the polls. Reasons that we see I know polls are garbage. A lot of people will say that when it's going towards things that are positive for the right, all the left will say polls suck. Yeah. And when it's leaning that's positive for the left, all the right will be like polls are fake. But
info's hard to come by. Yeah. Accurate info.
But ultimately, that's typically pay attention to. They don't pay attention. I don't think I've seen backed off one. What's it called? The petition. Although a petition getting to the floor is a good thing, but also have the option to ignore it. But the politicians do pay attention to the polling, especially within their own areas. So if we can educate the public more, then we can start to now we have some other ideas revolving around politics in general on change, and that's we're not, definitely for another episode. Mm-hmm. But for this one, just start educating the people around you on what's going on. Legislations. Read the different bills that are being passed under the noses of Canadians that really won't be for these bills. They're passed with the intention of another intention. They'll put it out in front of you, but then they'll bury all this stuff right in the rear of the. Wow, I'm using a lot of innuendo here.
I love innuendo. Oh, jeez.
But they'll bury it under the legal so that it's not understood on what's going on.
So, Aaron, I'm just going to ask you then, maybe, and then we can go back and forth. What's about this notion of C63 in your mind, from both a individual thing, also as a community? What do you think is the best way? Because at the end of the day, I have no plans at all. Just like I wasn't putting a mental gene therapy into my arm, I have no plans to stop speaking my truths. Okay, I fought for around the globe. I'm going to continue to do for that here. But what do you think is tactics that would be best used for us to combat this?
Well, do not comply. Obviously, like that, and I think that's what you're leading into. Education is another. Getting to know your neighbors too. Marty and I, again, another conversation. But we have
that's another.
But we have a circle around us, not just online, but we have a circle around us of neighbors, friends, and that we can call on in a heartbeat if there was something. Now that's leading down a very dark path of the brown coats knocking at your door. But
we lived that during the convoy, though.
Yeah,
you know
we did live that during the convoy. And a lot of people, I don't think, realize the fears that were actually happening amongst the populace. Where they did, we're pretty happy to espouse them. But get to know them. As I said, the way that we fight this kind of stuff is not just by do not comply. Do not comply at your home a lot of the time, and it's not talking about it.
Same as lockdown, potentially. You know what I mean? Same benefit.
Yeah, it is talking about it, but it is it's writing about it, getting it out online, get the information, not just the online, just not that it's not just online harms. It is so much more than that. People need to know about it. If you've got a local paper, write to them, put it in, get something into the opinion section. Speak to reporters. It may or may not, but the more we hammer them with the fact that we're happy with this, the more they have to listen.
Yeah. Yeah, excellent insights there, Aaron, too. And some of the comments talking about fears. People waiting for, police, military, stormtrooper to show up at their door and stuff. Those fears were very real. And with this new legislation, that those fears could be escalated even again. We kind of sort of moved away from that. Thank you, Putin. And we moved into some other. At the end of the day, and I'm not taking sides on Russia and Ukraine. That's have no insight on whatsoever except for personal opinions. And this is about planning where we can actually make some difference. So I'm going to leave that. But what I will say is that the fears, they would die, and it's ramping up again. So now's the time we have to put our foot down and make a difference. That is working together as communities, like Aaron said, building a network that can work together to provide just about any functions. We have to consider that. That's not prepping, it's working together. Together we're stronger. And working to make sure that they understand it. And forgiveness, understanding, and respect. I think those are big. We have to fight, and at some point we have to let stuff go. I'm seeing it in online chats. I'm hearing it in conversations. People are bittered. People are so hurt. We're so depressed. I'm quoting Wabbit right now from last night. We're so depressed and oppressed, and all we want to do is fight back. But we still need to keep our thinking caps on, and we still need to. We cannot be the same as the thing that we hated, and I'm watching that. I'm watching the divide. I'm watching the Hunger Games. Happen is after the trucker convoy out of our cells. We're all pissed off about it. And what did they do? They gave him a bow staff because he's got mad skills, just like Napoleon Dynamite. All the gangs are trying to recruit, and they want us to. He's got computer hacking skills. Okay, snappy, the dancer. And at the end, right? Yeah. I heard a dance off for competition. I'm at a disadvantage for that one, but we're going topless. Okay, but anyways, my point is that we can't be the same. We can't. We have to do better. We have to pass that stuff. We have to move on. And we bonded together. This online stuff, fuck people. Like, get a grip, do better. It
on YouTube. Good job.
Oh, you're not allowed to swear on YouTube?
I don't know.
Oh, we're going. It's gonna happen. So, we appreciate everybody. We appreciate of you that have influence. We appreciate some people that we've lost along the way. Some people that one conversation decided to ban us or to block us, and that stuff hurts, and it doesn't help. Also, egos need to be checked. Need to consider themselves. People need to put faith in community, put faith in God, in my opinion. If they're just yet, maybe start to look at it a little bit. But I think a big part of this is us working together and doing better for the greater good, for our future. And actually, I'm just going to do a little plug just at that moment. But we got this sitting over here. Okay, the broadcast. Okay, there's a show that listen to, and
watch if they ever get camera.
Yeah, watched if they ever get. I really want to. I'm not going to use real names, but I draw some attention to the broadcast. Those women are doing excellent work. They're instilling confidence, great ideas, and I just really want to make sure that they get the props they deserve. We're hoping to work with more in the future, but this is a shout out to the broadcast. Okay, we love you guys,
and we are also streaming live, not just through Planting Seeds, but through Vets for Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
they're another group of men and women that they got together. Well, I mean, they met up during the convoy, but the group itself formed after the convoy, and a ton of good work. If you're not familiar with Kayla,
Kayla Pollock. Yep.
Yeah, Kayla, who's Speyer's actually his wife is helping as well, I believe.
Yeah, that's sure. Yep.
She was turned into a quadriplegic due to vaccine confirmed. And there is a fundraiser for her on GoFundMe right now as well. They're close to their goal of $100,000, which will help her to get a lot of the quality of life things that she needs. Not just I know you're helping out with the dog, but this is for a wheelchair and some other things that would help her out quite a bit. That's what Vets for Freedom does. But they're helping out with the community. They do also have a merch. Check that out if you're interested. You've probably seen some of the stuff that we're wearing. I got their little thing down there too. Yeah, check it out. But with that said, with what you're healing divides and all that kind of stuff, remember, like, hope is one of the strongest things that, and a lot of people think hope will come at the end of a barrel, but it's the end of a hand. So when we can help pull each other up and just sometimes it's a handshake, it's a hug, but forgiveness is paramount in a lot of this, especially amongst ourselves. I think sometimes holding too hard to one opinion just cements the mind. We're not able to change.
Are we getting close to a wrap up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you got hockey, so
I live at the arena. Okay, so I did want to leave one last point, and it goes into this hunger, and it's this is a big one. Okay, and then basically our wrap up, you can cue that, and we'll figure out how to do all this tech stuff later. But the how many people out there watching this right now, or that are going to be watching? How many people have had issues with brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, children, cousins? That divide, that's huge. There's a lot of sour out there, and it certainly existed within my family, and I think a lot of people can attest to that, can feel the same pains from that. Right now, 5 minutes from now, that's a great time to start working. Do you need to just say, okay, like I said, I'm going into forgiveness, but families back together. We need to start having family barbecues and talking about that stuff where it's possible. And, if it's used on a chopping block, that's fine. It's okay as well to set healthy boundaries to politics or disagreements about certain stuff. But part of this Hunger Games thing is just as true in our own families as it is with our communities. And again, hunger.
We're trying to fix the mic problem. Thanks again, guys. Anyways, this was hopefully you guys like some of the sound we're saying. If you're not already, if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Rumble channel, which we will be uploading this to as well. We are now on Twitter as well under Planting Seeds 24.
Yep.
I think on Twitter. Feel free to give us a follow. But we will be doing more of these in the future. We'll and hopefully it'll get a little bit more refined at the same time to keep the conversation flowing.
Yep.
So
much love from us in Bay, Ontario.
Much love, guys. Thanks so much. Take care.
It starts with you and I to keep the love alive. You gotta